Hi guys, welcome back to Nat 5 and 5. We're going to look at trigonometric graph today and we're looking at the cosine graph or the cos graph. Okay, so you need to know what the cos graph looks like. You need to be able to draw it really fast. So if I wanted you to draw the cos graph, I would want you to draw the two axes like here. And I would want you to write obviously the x-axis and the y-axis. And then I'd want you just to draw this curve. Okay, so you want to be able to do that really, really fast, know what the cos graph looks like. I'm just going to put some more values in. Okay, so that's the x and that's the y. Okay, so these numbers along again is what I want you to be able to know off by heart, where the cos graph cuts the x-axis and where it meets the y-axis. So the period of this graph, very similar to the sine, period of this graph is one length of the cycle, and the period of the cosine graph or the cos graph is 360. So again, this is one full cycle. And again, this is just one cos graph that I have drawn for you. It goes on forever in both directions. And like I said in the sine graph, it's how far it travels to complete one full graph. Again, very similar to the sine graph. From the midpoint of the sine graph, the amplitude, I wrote sine there, which should be cos. From the midpoint of the cos graph, the amplitude is the distance to the highest, and lowest points on the graph. So again, if you look at the midpoint here, so here's the middle of the graph, you have to go up to the top. That is the highest point on the graph there at 1. And you can see at 180, the lowest point of the graph, if I go along, is at -1. So again, the amplitude of this is 1. It's really like you can put a 1 in front of that cos, but we don't write it. It's a bit like algebra. You can write 1x, which we don't write, we just write x. So like there's a 1 in front of that, showing you there's an amplitude of 1. So it goes up to 1 and down to -1. And we'll look at amplitude a little bit more in another video. So again, if I just look at these ones, cos 0. So if I look at cos 0, the x is 0. So your y is going to be 1. So if you type cos 0 into your calculator, your answer is 1. If I look at cos 90, you can see 90 on the cos graph cuts at the x-axis, so your y is going to be 0. Cos 180 is here. So you're going to go down till you hit the cos graph and again go along. And your output or your y value is -1. Cos 270 happens here, right on the x-axis again, so your y value is 0. And then cos 360 is here. You go up to that point and go along. You can see your answer again is 1. Again, I just wanted to show you a little bit of this here. So cos 60, if you type in cos 60 in your calculator, you should get an answer of 1/2. So 60 maybe about here, say. You go up to the graph and go along. That is 1/2, which makes sense because this is 0 here and this is 1 up here, so it's halfway between. Now if I did cos 300, which is probably about here, cos 300 and go up to the graph again, you can see it's on the same line as the cos 60. Okay, so that answer is, so cos 60 is 1/2 and cos 300 is also 1/2. We'll go into this in a little bit more detail when we are solving trig equations. But really for just now, if I want you to draw the cos graph, I want you to draw the two axes, x and y. I want you to start at 1, go down, curve, and then go back up again. I want that to be 360, that to be 0, the middle value to be 180, this to be 90, and this to be 270, and then it goes up to 1, amplitude of 1, so up to 1 and down to -1. That is what I want you to know at the moment. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye now.